Welcome back to another BJKU AI Q&A session. Today we're talking about a question that wasn't directly asked. However, it's been in the back of the minds of a lot of the students and some of the people who are commenting here on YouTube and elsewhere inside of our webinars and stuff. By the way, we have a live webinar that Bashar and I do teaching this stuff every single week. It's free. You can feel free to come join us. But I want to kind of talk specifically today about the speed of learning, which is more important than the depth of knowledge. Now, a lot of people, when they're getting started with AI, they think they need to know absolutely everything. And it's true that you need to know stuff, right? It's true that you need to educate yourself every single day. You need to read, you need to train, you need to take some classes, you need to play with the tools, you need to play with AI, you need to understand it in order to be able to explain it to a business owner. It's not like you're just going to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden you're an AI expert. Like, you got to study. This is just like any other business that you would have started. You're going to make sure that you're going to be educated and you're going to know more than your customer. However, you don't need to know everything. So one of the notes that I have here on the screen here is you got to be willing to learn new things really fast and take action really fast. Otherwise, you'll get left behind. And this is where a lot of people kind of get tied up in that analysis paralysis, because there is such thing as studying too much and training too much and educating yourself too much and reading and writing and all this sort of stuff too much. But there's also this other side of like taking a bunch of action with no education, right? So you got to kind of find that middle ground, the basic. So here's the thing. If you're going to be successful in this business, it's not about your IQ. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about your past experience, because the truth is AI is new for everybody. And there's not a lot of people who have a lot of experience. So for someone to say, I've got 30 years of AI experience, well, that's just probably not true, right? Of course, there are some people who've studied academics and they've been working on AI for 30 years. Sure, but nobody's been building voice bots and chat bots for 30 years, right? So understand the more important thing is not how smart you are, but how quickly you can learn something new, pick it up and play with it. And how do you get good at that? Well, you just start picking up new stuff and playing with it. And you start to recognize patterns. When you play with the chat bot, it starts to be very similar to a voice bot. When you play with the voice bot, it's very similar to using ChatGPT and using Claude and using Gemini and all these different tools. Now, again, don't go down the rabbit hole just playing with tools all day long. You got to get out there. So your business model in this AI strategist program should be speed of execution and not perfection. Because you are going to install something for a business. You're going to help them implement a strategy. Remember, we talked about this before. The money is in the implementation. What that means is helping a business not just install tools, but install a strategy with AI. And the difference is, well, it's not just like, here's your voice bot, good luck. It's like, hey, how many calls are missing? What needs to be asked? How do we intake these informations? How do we do all this? So that's the strategy section of this. And the perfection part is like, you don't want to make sure it's perfect before you install it, because you'll never get it perfect, right? You need some feedback, you need some data. So the question is, how do you know if you're on track or not? Well, one, if you're creating demos like every day, and they're really easy to make. Like anybody who's like freaked out, like, oh man, I can't create a demo. Demos are super easy to make. You go into 11 Labs, you can have a voice agent in 30 seconds. You go into ManyChat, you can have a new chat automation in 30 seconds. Like, it's really not difficult to build some of these tools. So having some demos for yourself to be able to share with people and show them how it would work in their business, that's really important. That's how you know you're on track. Number two, outreach. You're talking to people. When I'm talking to our BJKU AI strategists and we're building their business, the big thing that we're talking about is 80%, 90% of our job is getting conversations and doing conversations. Just talking to people, showing people, here's what it could do, here's how it could work, here's what we could do in your business. Hey, by the way, what challenges are you facing? What roadblocks are you experiencing? What's slowing you down day to day? Maybe we can automate that. Maybe we can automate this. Those outreaches are really, really important. And then getting them a quick win. Like, hey, check this out. You posted on Instagram and your chatbot responded. Isn't that cool? Quick wins make this so much more tangible, because AI right now is, for most business owners, it's like somewhere up in the cloud. They don't really understand it. It's intangential, so they can't touch it. They can't feel it. It's not like I see a website, it works. Okay, cool. Although you could be selling AI-powered websites, right, like I do. But those quick wins are really, really important. So just understand here today, you don't need to understand AI deeply. You just need to deploy it faster than everyone else. Listen, I hope this is helpful. Come join us every week for our BJKU AI Strategist webinar. I'll come answer your questions live. Bashar will be there with me, and we'll have a great time. So until then, see you soon.